Alright, we are on to Game 4, a very deciding match. I think Fantasy is finally getting some confidence under his belt. He is finally showing us some great play. That was a very nice contain, I have to say, on his part against Stork. If Stork can't halt Fantasy right now and stop his confidence from building up, I think Stork might actually have a chance of losing this OSL, because Stork, when it comes to these clutch moments where he has to win, where he has to get the job done in the finals, he just can't do it mentally. He can't focus. And I don't know anything about Fantasy, if he's able to focus in a clutch situation or not. But I think Stork should think about ending this right now, doing some kind of a cheese. Even though it might not be the best idea to be over anxious like that and try to end it soon, I think it is in this situation. At least play into the psychology here and keep Fantasy on his toes, because Fantasy, I have to say, looking very confident right now. Fantasy now knowing that he can win in the finals, which is a big hurdle to get past, especially after those last two games. I'm sure those last two games were wearing on his confidence level. So we'll see what happens. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is going to be played on Plasma. I think Plasma is a little bit more Terran favored in TVP because of the amount of maneuverability the dropships offer you. We'll see up here in Beige at the 10 o'clock position we have Fantasy. Fantasy looking very confident though. He might have actually awoke right now in that last match. And down here in red at the 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock position we have Stork. Stork looking very confident as well though, looking very mean. You might be thinking about doing some kind of mean strategy here. Like I said, I think Fantasy should cheese and try to close these games out with a cheese build. If he cheeses here, I think it might be very successful, because Stork, you see, Stork is going out for a scout right now, doing what he can here, scouting to the side of his base, looking for any kind of a cheese. You see, he is going to scout the wrong direction at first, and Fantasy is working up inside of his own base, probably not thinking about doing any kind of a cheese himself, actually. Yeah, I expect Fantasy to go for starports, maybe 1, maybe 2. I think more likely 2 starports on this map would be great help to him. There's not a whole lot of reason to get a huge ground army up, because the eggs are just such a hindrance on this map. Breaking through them is a big deal, and Terran, when they're pushed through narrow corridors like that, aren't very good at defending against stuff like Zealot bombs, stuff like that. But you see that choke is blocked now from Fantasy, so Stork's not going to be able to get any kind of a scout in here. Stork trying to do what he can there, but he's not going to be able to get the scout on Fantasy, so Fantasy can go for a crazy strategy. Oh, fast Nexus from Stork. I'm not sure if this is the best idea in the world. Well, I guess it might be. Because of the lurker eggs, it would be very hard to do any kind of a bunker rush from Fantasy. I think Fantasy is scouting the wrong way as well, so this fast Nexus might actually work in Stork's favor if he's able to pump up the economy and keep this going. There's UUV looking on, the coach, the inspiration for Fantasy. See, there's a factory going down. Gas up for Fantasy, and I think he's floated his barracks there over as a scout. So he's going to probably be able to scout that fast Nexus. We'll see if he's able to do anything about it, though. With all these eggs in the way, I think he'd probably be hard-pressed to fight this off. Stop the Nexus from going up. He's putting down some more supply depots. Probably going to try to... I think he's working up to Starport right now. Get some early drops in. I'm hoping this series actually goes on to a Game 5, because I love the 5th game in a best of 5 series, because one game deciding it all. How can you get better than that? You see Stork is blocking his choke right now. And Fantasy actually going for a second factory there. So he's not working up to the starport yet. Probably going to think about pushing through those eggs, actually. And there, he has scouted that fast nexus now from Stork, and it looks like he's going to do this barracks trick, sneak a vulture by. This could be very effective. I don't think Stork has anything to fend this off. Let's see if he's able to do it here. Oh, he's trying his best to get through these eggs, and it looks like he's finally going to be able to do it. And he's going to be able to take out probably quite a few probes, because all that Stork is going to have to defend. You see Stork ran his probes already. It's a very fast run by him. Probably saw that coming somehow. So, yeah, nice play by Stork. Having his probes mine those minerals inside of his main and not getting any probe kills. And now that starport is up for Fantasy, though, he's going to have a lot of maneuverability with that. And Stork might not have enough to fight off any kind of army from Fantasy. Fantasy is working towards a very large army here, a very teched army, and Stork is just working for economy at the moment. Able to do a good job of blocking his choke with that one Zealot and take out those vultures the best he can. But see, there are some vultures still sneaking around here. 2 machine shops spinning, so we're going to have mines and siege mode out soon. So he's probably thinking about breaking through this X actually sooner rather than later. And there's Stork trying to get those vultures away from his probes. Fantasy able to get a couple of probe kills before that vulture goes down. Well, vulture not going down yet. He's doing a good job of running it away. And sitting out there at the front of Stork's base. I think he's just trying to buy for time, though. You see, he has a lot of vultures grouped up, so he might be thinking about doing some kind of a vulture drop here, which could be very effective. Yes, he is. He's going in with 4 vultures. And he has mines already, so he might have actually been upgrading vulture speed there. I think he was, actually, mines and vulture speed. So this could be devastating to Stork. Stork going for a fast nexus, probably not the best idea for him in this kind of matchup. Drops can be so effective on this map. Now you see the vultures coming in, going to be able to get some probe kills here. And see what Stork does to fend this off. A lot of mines being placed, that's going to hurt Stork a lot. Stork isn't even close to getting observers out. So the mine's right outside of the gateway too. Oh, a lot of probes going down, being caught in that mine. Stork is just being eaten up here. Tons of probes going down for Stork. Oh man, Stork is in a lot of trouble right now. He has a couple Dragoons coming in to help, but Fantasy somehow being very dominant in this game. I think Fantasy might actually win this game. He has a lot of vultures out, and Stork can't mine hardly at all. He's mining from this base, but it's going down right now. Stork is just so far behind here. All of his probes are going to be destroyed. Reaver out, but the Reaver's not going to be enough to defend against fast vultures with mines. So many probe kills. And Samsung Khan looking very scared there. Now a Wraith out. Once that Wraith gets cloaked, it's going to be pretty much over. Stork doing what he can to put up that cannon there and defend. But Stork's just... miners are devastated. He doesn't have hardly any mining at all. And Stork trying to clear that mine. Wasn't able to do it though, and there's still a vulture in the main. This is absolutely incredible. Now you see a Wraith might take out this shuttle. Oh my god. You see a siege tank moving in here too. Oh, Fantasy's just doing such a good job here of dropping just the perfect amount of units, taking out the Reaver. Now he has a Wraith and a siege tank inside of Stork's main, and Fantasy, oh my god, Stork GG's. This is moving on to a 5th game. Stork is looking devastated there, and Fantasy, when they showed a shot of him just a second ago, looking absolutely terrifying. You see Fantasy going out there. He is going backstage to focus, obviously. Probably to talk with his coach and get things straightened out for the 5th game. Wow, this is getting exciting. We are moving on to the 5th game. I can't wait to see what happens.